And then we were going to buy. I'm still not sure if this is the right move, because I don't know. I mean, you really want to buy the Marauder, because it's a cool mech, right? But at this weight class and just my personal style, I personally think the Orion is the better mech. It's better armored, better from a firepower standpoint. The real thing that the Orion struggles with is heat. It just sucks in that regard. And this is just too overpriced for with it being a rare mech. I just can't justify it. Quick draw feels over all we need right now, though, so I'm going to go with this, although I feel like I'm going to regret it. We could go shopping around a little bit more and jump into a different system, but I feel like that's wasting a lot of time that we don't have. I mean, I have a lot of repairs to do. Okay, so this is the determination I'm going to do. We know we have mechs in here that I want to buy. Whether they're going to stay here if I leave and come back, I don't know. While we're here, I should also look at pilots. Oh, hello there. Got somebody that's a 30 and a 29 and a 28. There's actually quite a few pilots we might be able to pick up, so hope.
I know your story, and I'm ready to be of assistance, Commander.
Alright, so this is going to be based off of what we need. Voice isn't bad. Pretty even on the weapon distribution, although a little bit more energy weapons, which is a more common weapon, and a little bit more towards missile weapons, which we tend to use quite a lot. Hope is divided between ballistic weapons, which isn't as useful, and missile weapons. Pretty strong emphasis towards missile weapons. Very weak in energy weapons, which again is the most common weapon, so that kind of sucks. Boyce is better in all of these categories except for avoiding enemy fire, which with heavier mechs probably isn't going to matter as much. The damage resistance and the heat reduction is probably going to be more important, so having better there. So far, Boyce seems to be the better pilot, but we have one more to look at, and that's going to be Starnes here. Similar story to Hope in that it's much more emphasis on ballistic weapons and missiles. I think I may pick up Hope, but I'm gonna fire one of my older, like, not so good pilots. Like, for example, Stubbs is almost the same as Hope is, just worse in pretty much every way. So I'm gonna get rid of Stubbs. Stockton we might also get rid of, but yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Stubbs here. Dismiss pilot. And then it opens it up for Hope, because Hope is pretty much the same, just better. So what's Hope's story? Captain Hope had always dreamt of a life beyond her rural Davian system, and had always pictured the life of a swashbuckling MechWarrior. A decently skilled pilot, Name continues to grind away with a true mercenary attitude. Name? That's probably supposed to be Captain Hope. All right. A true mercenary attitude. She fancies herself a bit of a hero, which is always a risk. Nevertheless, she has made it this far, so maybe she is onto something. All right, well, we'll hire her, and then we're definitely going to hire Boyce. Now, whether or not I fire anybody else, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to take Starnes, because that Starnes is too similar to Hope. Don't think it's worth picking up. But Boyce is just a generally good pilot, just really weak in only one area, so... And so far, he's got the highest cap of any pilot outside of the ones that we were given for free. So, yeah, let's go ahead and pick that pilot up. So, the question is, do we keep Stockton or do we get rid of Stockton? Stockton's actually not that bad of a pilot. But he has more of an emphasis towards light mechs. How many pilots do we have at this point? I wish they gave you a total. So, including myself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those 2 Lances worth. I guess I'll stick with it for now. But Stockton's the next one out. If we find some decent skilled pilots.
Ready for action. Nice dropship, but boring as hell.
I'm going to have to look between Stockton. So Stockton has 1, 4, 5.
Ready for action.
Versus Starnes. 1, 6, 5. So better and everything there. 5, 2, 7. 525. Okay. And as far as skill level, 17 right now.
Let's do this, Commander.
Starnes is also 17, but with more room for improvement. So I honestly think we will fire Stockton here and take Starnes. So dismiss. I didn't read the description for Boyce. Let's read that. Captain Boyce grew up in the far upper rim of Krita space. Spelling error here. Demurmand. I think it's supposed to be determined. To be resigned to a life of obscurity on his planet, he decided to make a name for himself by becoming a... Or is that a word? Is Demurmand? Is that a word? Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. He decided to make a name for himself by becoming a MechWarrior. With a decent amount of battle experience, he is a respectable gun for hire. Despite having seen plenty of combat, the horrors of combat are beginning to weigh heavy on his mind. I mean, this thing's full of spelling errors already and omissions, so I'm not sure if this is a real word or not. Alright, well, in any case, we're going to go ahead and hire
Let's do this, Commander.
Starnes now.
Ready for action.
So we've gotten rid of Stockton. I didn't read Starnes' description. Starnes. Captain Starnes' greatest fear was growing up to be irrelevant and inconsequential on his empty, almost inhospitable Steiner peripheral home system. Becoming a mercenary was one way to change that. He doesn't have the wealth of combat experience as most veterans, but his instincts make him a reliable pilot. Despite having seen plenty of combat, the horrors of combat are beginning to weigh heavy on his mind. Okay, so we have a little bit of pilots with a little better description. Oh yeah, we were gonna fire. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're gonna fire Stockton. Goodbye. Okay, so that was a good upgrade. I'm glad I remembered to look. All right, so we're down to the market, right? And whether or not we wanted to buy something here or move on and see if we could find a better mech that fits our category. I mean, this is a really good number of mechs here, and they're pretty decent. It just, the problem is with what drop weight we're at 7 reputation, we're looking at 230, which makes a 75-ton mech pretty damn hard to use. It's possible, but we have to cut some corners. And I like the Grasshopper, and that would be the thing I'd have to give up. The mission we're about to do is 250, and we could swing that, because right now, I think the best we could do was 240. So we would have 10 tons to work with. I would have to downgrade something, but I could fit a 75-ton mech into that in theory. What would we have with that, though? Let's think about what we would have if we did that, right? So, as I said, the best we could have would be 240, and that would be using 2 50-ton mechs, no, actually, a 55-ton mech, a 50-ton mech. I guess in theory we could use 2 55-ton mechs. I didn't think to do that before. I mean, that would only be, you know, it'd still be 5 tons underweight. But in any case, yeah, so we would have 110, 160, 230. So let's say we put a 75-ton mech in place of the trebuchet, which has not been all that effective for us. So we'd be doing 25 tons there. So we'd have to downgrade something quite significantly, wouldn't we? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could go from a 55-ton mech. Let me do the lance that we would have, just so that I can think this through, okay? So it'd be 20 tons over this. So let's say we were to replace, and we only have 10 tons to work with. So we replace this, we'd be another 25 tons, so we would be at 265. So I'd have to drop 15 tons. So I'd have to be on a 40-ton mech here. That's quite a downgrade. That's why I don't want to do that. Okay, well, in any case... Whereas the quick draw we could put in place here, or honestly we could put in place here, and we'd be perfect from a weight standpoint. We would have the Grasshopper, the Kintaro, the Thunderbolt, and then the quick draw, and we'd be right on weight, I think. Let me think about the math again. So it would be 120, right? Here. Plus 50 would be, yeah, it would be to 240. So the quick draw would fit in perfectly. You know what? F it. I'm going to do the quick draw because it fits in perfectly. We don't know if we're going to find something better anywhere else. The quick draw fits in perfectly with what we want. The LRM-10 would match with the Kintaro's Narc. We do have high quality LRM-10s to use, which we haven't used. I think it's what we pick up here. So, okay. Now we do all the repairs. So this mech is going to need a lot of work. Let's go through and do all the simple stuff first. So nothing needs replaced here, so we can just do a simple repair, and that'll take 8 days. Nothing needs repaired here or replaced. Thunderbolt has some parts to replace, so we'll ignore it for now. Repair. Shadowhawk, similar story, repair. Phoenix Hawk. Centurion. Okay. Crab. Alright, so there's the Thunderbolt and the Quick Draw that need the work. Done. Alright, so let's go ahead and repair this mech. Oh, wait, no. Edit, loadout. Repair all. Remove the large laser. Now, this is where we have to make a judgment call. I have 4 of these quality 2 large lasers, so probably not a big deal if we take one of those. We just have a habit of losing arms in our ally mechs, which is the main reason I wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, it seems to work out okay. So we do have an LRM-15, pretty high quality in this mech. And then we could get the LRM-10 with the Artemis system, or just the LRM-10, the quality 2 one. I mean, we have quite a few choices in the LRM-10 that would be an improvement over the default. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start that work. It's going to take 24 days. All right, now the quick draw. Now I expect this is going to take a really long time to do. So edit loadout. So we have a lot of systems to replace here. Now, we could change this SRM-4 into an LRM-5. That would be all that would fit in here, but we do have a high-quality LRM-5, and it would give this guy a little bit more support. It would be the equivalent of a single LRM-15. Because we already have close-range brawlers in my mech, the Grasshopper, and the Kintaro. Although I have a little bit of long-range punch with the large laser, and the Kintaro has a little bit of long-range punch with the LRM-5 that it has. So that is a possibility. The jump jets are just going to go. That gives us a way to get us armor, which is going to be pretty valuable. Medium laser-wise, we do have a bunch of these higher quality medium lasers. I might actually want to go through and upgrade some of my other mechs to make sure they have higher quality medium lasers. Arms, I think I'm going to keep a quality 1. If it's not a mech that I have, arms get lost very frequently. Let's just go ahead and hit repair all. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a quality 1 medium laser there. This, I think, maybe calls for the quality 2s, because it's at least in a right torso, something that's not as easy to lose. Let me go ahead and make sure we get our heat sinks taken care of. So that is a single heat sink. Okay, the ammo is going to go if we don't use the SRM-4. We don't save any weight whatsoever by using the LRM-5 unless we only use a single ton of LRM ammo. I don't know what kind of endurance we're going to talk about with that, because you're firing, in theory, 15 every time you fire, but LRMs fire pretty quickly. So who knows how long that's going to last, just a single ton. Probably a good idea to get 2 tons if we're going to go with the LRM-5 as well. I honestly don't think the SRM-4 is necessary. But then again, the AI tends to be very ineffective with LRMs, seemingly. Well, what would be our possibilities if we stuck with the SRM-4? We could just get a Quality 2 SRM-4. We have a couple of those. We probably should use the LRM-10 with the Artemis system. Because we're not using LRM-10s anywhere else. And LRM-10 is as big as we can go because of the slot. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way right now. Yeah, I'm really not sure if we should swap out the SRM-4 just because of how the AI behaves. All right, well, let's get rid of these, and I will use the Quality 2 ones, and then the ammo. Oh, do I not have any LRM ammo? Well, that makes my decision for me. There, fine. All right, so we have. You know, I'm not 100%, and it doesn't really say what the Artemis system does. It says that it, with improved spread, and I think if I remember correctly, that's how that works. If I remember correctly, okay, and this is, I'm not as familiar with a lot of the laws tech stuff because I tend to favor, like, the Succession War era, and a lot of this stuff is super rare. So I'm only vaguely aware of what the rules are. Give me 1 second. But if I remember correctly, with the tabletop rules, cluster weapons with which LRMs count as. Let's see what the normal LRM says. Yeah, so the difference in description here is with improved spread versus the normal LRM-10, which just doesn't say that, right? If I remember correctly, what the Artemis system does is it makes the cluster groups more focused, I believe. But I could be remembering that incorrectly, so I don't know that 100%. All right. But in any case, having it is better than not having it. It does weigh more, though. I think in the tabletop game, the Artemis system is a separate piece of equipment. This, it just bundles the two. And in theory, you also have to have ammo that is Artemis has the Artemis ability, but I don't think this game really cares about stuff like that, so. Okay, so in theory, we have 4 tons to work with because the Artemis system does weigh a ton. All right, well, let's start working on this thing. Rear armor looks all right. I think 4 tons, we probably could just max out some of this stuff. I'm gonna go to 35 for now. I don't want to get too carried away and have to back some stuff off. Let's go to 35 in the torso sections, and I'll probably tweak that a little bit. 35 in the legs. Let's go 40 in the torso, the center torso. I'll take a couple ticks there too. Okay, so we have a little over 2 tons to work with, so still plenty of room. Let's go up to 40 here, and then I'm going to do the last 2 ticks there. Up to 40 here, last 2 ticks. Let's go up to, I don't know, 18, maybe more than that. Let's go up to, let's say 38 in the arms. Might go further than that. Go up to 40 in the legs. Okay. Go up to 45 here. Up 20. Okay. So I have a little under a ton. I'm just going to max out the arms because those have a habit of falling off. Go up to 42 in the legs. That's probably good enough. And then I don't know what the heat sinking on a quick draw is. It's probably not all that good. Okay, up to 50. Let's go up to 22 in the head. We still have half a ton to play with here. Okay, 45, 45. 22 in the rear. Go up to just maxing it out here, I guess. Oh, and there you go. So we ended up with, you know, quite a good amount of armor. Kind of weak in the right and left torso, but that's just kind of sometimes the problem you have. If you want to have any kind of decent rear armor, I mean, I guess we could do this. I'll go 15 here and then 41, 41. It's not really that big of a difference, but all right, I'll take it. This is pretty solidly armored. At this point, after removing the jump jets, which the AI is not going to use properly anyway, the SRM4 system I'm going to replace with a Quality 2 system because why not? And it's in the center torso, so it's not likely going to get knocked out. Okay. 49 days. Holy crap. Alright. We're not going to get this back anytime soon. Okay. So that's just about all of our mechs being worked on. What was it again? How many days? 49, jeez. All right, so what's the game plan then if we have 49 days to work with? Maybe I go down here where we have those defense contracts. We do one, maybe both of them, while we wait for the quick draw, and then we think about, you know, going to Lee maybe, getting what repairs we need, and then going up to Footfall and doing the contract there. So this will only take 13 days. So I'm not sure what mechs we're going to get back in 13 days. Let me take a look at that. Most of them except the Thunderbolt. Okay, well, we can work with that, I guess. Let's travel. Seems like these defense contracts. You're always on the max armor game unless I'm committing tax fraud. That's funny. Yeah, with the other MechWarrior games that I've played in the past, I tended to do that as well. Go very high on this. Oh, we got a message. This is probably one of the high reward quests. But yeah, we're only one system away from one of those. Let's see what it is. Okay. So Rashmore Owens Incorporated. This message comes with warm regards from Rashmore Owens Incorporated. Here at Rashmore Owens, our production of jump ships and drop ships is a shining beacon of pride and resilience for all Capellans. Despite our trailblazing innovation to keep our ancient factory online, we run on razor-thin margins and our facilities continue to slide into disrepair. The new Syrtis shipyards, firmly entrenched with our hated enemy House Davian, allow their dropships to be illegally sold at bargain basement prices, which undercuts our profits, thus furthering that slide. As the crown jewel of the Capellan Confederation's naval industry, we at Rashmore Owens have no choice but to take drastic action against our competitors. We want you to permanently cripple New Syrtis shipyards, transfer, and storage facilities. Not for us, but for all Liao citizens. Successful fulfillment of these objectives will be greatly rewarded. Of course, this conversation never happened. All right. I'll go ahead. I'll say accept on this one. We have to obviously jump into the system, which is in Ares, which I'm assuming is the same place. Yeah, Ares. We'll do the contracts here first. See how that goes. I mean, honestly, is something that's going on in Davian space really affecting the markets of the Capellans? I don't know if I buy that, especially considering that they're heated enemies, but let's not worry about that. And instead, worry about the contracts in front of us. So we do have a difficulty level 29 mission from the Capellans. We are trying to improve our relationship with the Capellans because right now, as things stand, we're maxed out with House Davian. So there's really no point in continuing to advance relations with them. But we are getting closer and closer to the Capellans actually liking me, some semblance of an amount. So, yeah, we might do a contract for them here. But again, let's take a look at what the contracts are. So this is a defense mission. This is your repeat mission. And both of these are going to be against House Liao, the ones that are where the House Davian is hiring me. All right, let's see what the description is. We've let slip to we've let slip to House Davian forces that our base on Kamal 2 is understaffed and undefended. Mostly because it is. But that's where you come in, mercenary. Go there and defend the base. Surprise the enemy and crush them. All right. Just wanted to see what all is here. Nothing really all that exciting. Anything in equipment? Again, not all that exciting. You know, I never really noticed that there's SRM half ammo. That'd be interesting in some place. All right. I guess we'll just sign up for the contract. Now the question is, how much is our drop weight? 200 versus 230 for the other mission, although that's also 200. So it looks like we're going to work with the 200 drop weight. Okay. So salvage, we can only put 5 shares into that, which gets us up to 12. I'll go ahead and do that. And then 1 share for damage coverage. We might want 2, but I'm going to just go with 1. So our potential payout, not including the damage coverage, is 539,410. And then we have 12 salvage shares. Okay, let's go ahead and accept the contract. I'm not sure what we're going to do with 200 tons. Definitely probably do not have room to use the Grasshopper. That's just a little too heavy. Doesn't look like we can use this lance. I'm going to have to downgrade something. We could go to the Phoenix Hawk instead of the Kintaro. That'd be a fairly easy change. And the rest of our lance is probably pretty solid. Crab is an alright mech. Centurion is one of our more effective 50-ton mechs. And the Trebuchet has just been disappointing, so I don't think I'm going to use that. Phoenix Hawk has been a pretty good performer. So the question is, where do we want the different pilots? So let's start with the Crab. See if there's anybody better for the job. Boys could be. If we get that energy weapon skill up. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Boys here because right now Pierre is kind of capped out on a lot of his abilities. The only thing he still has left to do is evasion, which that might take a while because it's very high level. Whereas Boy still has a lot of room for improvement. And I think his abilities are going to work just a little bit better in that Crab. So let's go ahead and put Boyce in there for now. And then we have who should be in the Phoenix Hawk. That might be Pierre, because of the high energy weapon skill. He's also very good with ballistic weapons, which is the other weapon system we have, and the high evasion might be perfect for that Phoenix Hawk. Captain Hope is more about ballistic weapons, so not really going to probably use her. And then Starnes is kind of a similar thing. So yeah, I think Pierre in this case. So yeah, we've got Pierre, we've got Freeman, and we've got Boyce as our pilots. All right, looks good to me. How are we doing on my pilot? I'm seemingly doing quite well on the bottom 3 categories. 757, not doing so well on the heat. But lately the mechs I've been using don't really overheat. Grasshopper, I can't overheat even if I try. And Shadowhawk I think is fairly good as well in that regard. I haven't had a lot of experience with ballistic weapons, so primarily because the only mech that I ever used that had them was the Centurion, and it's been a little while since I've used it. Okay. Let me be ready up here. More PPCs. Yeah, we only had one mech that had one, and we got rid of it recently.
to be advancing on this position. Let's set up and prepare for them.
Good job, guys. You already damaged the facility.
Now fan out and take defensive positions. Prepare for incoming hostiles.
Alright, we don't know where they're coming from just yet. Oftentimes looking up into the sky is a good idea, because we can find the helicopters and figure out where they're coming from that perspective. Oh, okay, we got them.
Target acquired.
Looks like they're on the other side of the base.
Enemy contacts have breached the outer perimeter. Make sure they regret that decision, Commander.
Oh. This is a big city. My allies are probably smashing their way through. Sorry. Oh, I think I'm going the wrong way. No, I'm going the right way.
We're paying you to protect us, not kill us.
Hey, it's mostly my allies doing that. Yell at them.
Commander, we lost an apartment complex.
Sorry. Come here, you bastard. Ah. Go for the legs. Got you, bastard.
Target acquired.
Okay, there's a vehicle over here somewhere. Got him.
More hostiles entering the combat
Okay.
zone's perimeter. Brace for additional contacts.
Oh, they're right on top of us. Jeez.
Target acquired.
Alright, go after the Centurion. Let's get that arm if we can. Got him. Die, bastard. Got him. Alright, let's get this Locust. Got him.
They just demolished a residential tower.
Got him.
Splash target.
Alright, let's go get that other mech. Alright.
Damage to the facilities is minor at the moment, Commander.
Yeah, that guy's dead.
Cannot allow such damage to cascade. Do what you can.
Oh shit, that one's gonna blow up.
Enemies away from here.
Alright, hopefully our Phoenix Hawk didn't eat that. It's poor city.
Target acquired.
You goddamn immortal warrior-loving, ego-driven mech-chuck sons of bitches! Stop shooting up our bloody property!
I was more walking through it, lady. Whoops!
Tangos appear to be bringing in additional reinforcements. Brace yourselves.
Alright. I heard a dropship incoming. Oh, it's over there. Go, go, go.
Target acquired.
All medium mechs. See Centurion, a Cicada. Guys, form up on me, please.
We're moving in behind you, Commander.
I'd prefer not to attack these guys all by myself. I don't know what the third mech is. I didn't get to see it. Alright, let's just go after the security in here.
Acquired.
Enemy movement into the territory. Engage.
I'm gonna ignore this into the Cicada. Go after the arm.
Taking heavy damage.
Got him.
Destroyed.
Reactor compromised.
Target
Alright,
acquired.
let's go get that Cicada. Go for the legs. Not sure which legs are still alive.
Destroyed.
Oh, well. Don't have to worry about it now. Ooh, it's an assassin. Okay, guy's dead. Okay. Now they're...
Target acquired.
Oh, okay. They made it so you get a lower chance of salvage. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was higher. Well, Cicada is still a good mech to leg, though, because it just got so poor leg armor, so I figured that was a good, decent strategy, I guess I should say. Not sure where the rest of the enemy is. Oh, there's one. Come here, you bastard. Ah, almost got him.
Target destroyed.
Okay. Should be a couple more vehicles around here somewhere. We've definitely flattened this area just by walking through stuff mostly. Oh, I see it now.
Target acquired.
One of these little hover vehicles.
Target.
Additional tangos en route to your position, Commander.
Okay, let's... There it is. Alright guys, form up on me.
On your trail, Commander.
They're quite a bit behind me, so I'm just gonna wait a second. There's probably another Lance of mechs coming in. One of our guys is well behind. I wonder who that is. Alright, well... 2 light mechs and two medium... I'm sorry, 2 medium mechs, 1 light mech.
Target is down.
Oh, he's probably attacking...
This tower.
Alright. Oh shit, a hunchback. Two hunchbacks, it looks like. I'm gonna go after that right torso if I can. Ow. Okay, I think I got it. Switch over to the other one.
Target acquired.
You bastard. Ow. This is what I think of your autocannon, you dick. Eat it in the cockpit.
Enemy mech down.
Target destroyed.
Hope that was a cockpit kill, you bastard.
Target acquired.
Alright, we got a Locust 1M running away there.
Mercenaries, our office tower has been destroyed. Corpus will not like this.
Hey, go, 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 go.
Target
Got him.
destroyed.
Alright. Alright, so there's probably more vehicles in the city. Most of my allies look okay. Pierre's taking a decent amount of damage, but
Target acquired.
that's Pierre for you. He always takes a lot of damage. Okay, we got all 3 contacts here. Just have to round them up.
They're going after the real estate.
Destroyed.
Okay. Or 55%. There is no bonus for coming out a certain percentage, so I'm not sure I even care at this point.
Acquired.
They're not going to pay me extra for keeping them alive. Oh, I look like the crab that did that. Come here, you bastards.
Destroyed.
Alright, that should be it.
Well done, Commander. The area is secure.
Alright, mission successful. Hey, we got ranked up. Okay. Let's see what the extent of the damage is. So total payout is 685,910. And we get a little bit of experience as well. Ooh, okay. We've got salvage potentials here. I don't see a reason why not to pick up the assassin. Because we can just sell it. And it's worth a decent amount. Let's sort this by value and figure out what else we got here. I'll go ahead and pick up the SRM-6. It's not really good value for the number of shares, but I don't have very many of these. Oh, no, never mind. I have a bunch of those. Okay, so the LRM-10 is right on par with what I want to see. I'll pick up one medium laser to replace one I've already used. And I guess we'll go with the LRM-10 here just because of the value is better. Okay, that'll do. So damage taken actually equaled exactly how much our damage... oh, yeah, our payout was the same. How many points did I put into that? Oh, 172. Yeah, so 146,500. My apologies, I misread that. So we were under the amount we got coverage for, so that's always good to see. Crab, seemingly low on the damage. I don't know. The question is, what's better? The Trebuchet, which in theory should be doing a lot of damage, or the Crab, which has a lot more survivability? Didn't take very much damage, though. Centurion did really well. It's been pretty solid there. The Phoenix Hawk did okay. I did an absolute ton of damage. Holy crap. Almost 1,200 damage. I think that's might be as high as I've ever seen it. But hey, that was actually a pretty good mission, because what was our enemy primarily? Mechs. That's what I've been waiting for. This huge waves of vehicles. Kind of gotten tired of. This mission was fun. I wish more missions were like this. Okay. Let's take a look at the star map and think about what we'd want to do here. So we could jump back to Lee, get a quick repair, then come back to Ares and do that demolition contract. Because we're still waiting on... How many days do we need? 28 days for the quick draw, which is going to take a lot of time. But Lee is just a short jump. And I'm not sure where else we'd want to go. Repair cost is actually not that high in this conflict zone, though. So it might actually not be a bad idea to just do our repairs in system. And then jump straight to Ares. We would not have the quick draw back in time, but we might not need it. Let's see how bad the repairs are going to be. They should not be all that expensive because nobody really took serious damage. I think I took the most damage out of the group. So 13 days, which is exactly how long it would take us to jump, and I should have been the most damage. So yeah, I think we'll be fine. It's a little bit more expensive to do it here, but... yeah, I'm fine with that. Saves us a little bit of time. And then we should have all of our mechs back except for the quick draw if we jump to the new location. Okay. I'd be fine with that. We can get this high reward contract out of the way. I don't know how difficult it's going to be. And maybe then look back to going to Footfall. Okay. Alright, our 3 available contracts here. Main one we're worried about, though, is the high reward contract, which is this one. 45 difficulty, which is the highest we've seen so far. Drop weight is only 230, though, which is somewhat worrying. But we have a fairly solid lance that we use at 230 tons that fits into that weight perfectly, so I think we're alright with that. This is a new employer. We've never seen these guys before. It is against the New Series Shipyards, which is yet another faction. Alright. What's the drop weight on this one? 230. It's only a 31 difficulty. Alright, well, in any case, let's go ahead and accept this contract. Oh, no, wait, I have to put points into it. Almost made that mistake. Okay, so salvage shares. I'm going to put 5 into that, so get 10 salvage shares, and then put 2 into damage coverage. So I expect the damage to be a little heavier this time. Total potential payout is 787,348. 10 salvage shares and 345,000 in damage coverage. Okay, as far as mechs go, we're going to switch over into the Grasshopper. We're going to keep the Phoenix Hawk where it is. We're going to switch over to the Thunderbolt, which should be back and ready to go if I can find where it is on this list. There it is. And then we have a 50-ton mech. Crab has not been all that effective for us, so the question is, do we switch back to the Trebuchet and hope that it's going to do what we want it to, or do we put the Centurion in here, which has been just really an effective mech for us overall? I think I am going to do that, but what I'll probably do is switch the placement of the Centurion with the Thunderbolt and put the Thunderbolt in the rear so we can cover our back. Okay, now let's allot the pilots appropriately. The Thunderbolt more goes energy weapons and missiles. It has a little bit of ballistic weapons, so Boyce might not be a bad pilot for that mech. Honestly, we might just want to keep things as is. Gives Freeman some experience in ballistic weapons. Alternatively, we move Boyce over to the Centurion. And we move Freeman over to the Thunderbolt. I think that's the change I'm going to make. I don't think anybody else here makes sense. If I had used the Thunderbolt, then MechWarrior would make a lot of sense to try and get that missile skill up. Or somebody else, like maybe Hope instead, as she has a higher skill level, you know, as is. So, yeah. And then the other one that we have is Starnes. Starnes probably better than Hope, actually. That kind of use. I'm torn on whether to use a Trebuchet or not. Because of the type of quest it is, because of the type of mission, I think we go with the Centurion here. And in that case, I think we stick with the pilots that we have. But I'm going to switch the two. So Freeman is going to switch over to the Thunderbolt. So Boyce and the Centurion, here in the Phoenix Hawk, and myself and the Grasshopper. I think that's going to work out. Okay, ready up. Okay, let's see where our objective is.
I'm dropping you
Okay, it's
off
right in front of
not
us.
far from a so-called shadow station. The new Certis shipyards are making deals under the table, selling cheap dropships to the Capellan Confederation. Let's take down the transfer station and put a halt to the illegal trade.
Honestly, Cobalt, the Grasshopper has been my favorite mech so far.
Expect security forces to be on
It's
the
actually
ground
really
out here.
amazing. And it's fun to have a little bit of jump jets every now and then. It's a very tall mech, though, so it takes some getting used to. I don't know if you can see how much of a height difference we have between the Phoenix Hawk and myself, but very tall mech. You see it really when you fight Locusts. The Locusts are like way down here when you have to fight them.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Target dead. Oop, got a target off to our left here. Something's hitting me on the right.
Got another one.
Target destroyed. Jump jet fuel low.
Okay.
Target is down.
Alright. So far, pretty clean. Let's check the skies.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Okay, we got some targets up on those skies.
Yeah! Commander's targets. Group up!
I want to kill that SRM carrier before it gets too close.
Target destroyed.
Something's behind me. Oh, they're really doing a number on that Centurion. I'm going to try and save him.
Target eliminated.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
I've got all the light mechs, huh? That guy's dead.
Target acquired.
Oh, you bastard.
Target
Got him.
destroyed.
Alright. Oh, still more of these little bastards.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Got him. Alright.
Target acquired.
There it is. I'll leave the rest of the demolition job up to you, Commander.
Destroyed.
Alright.
Target acquired.
I didn't quite get a good enough hit on that guy.
Target destroyed.
Start running through buildings.
We're making progress, but still have a long way to go. Keep at it, everyone.
It's one apart! Damage critical!
Is there any enemy right now? I don't have any blips on my radar. Oh, there is. Over there. Ow.
Target acquired.
Okay, let's get everybody.
Get that thing!
Centurion's taking a lot of damage. Come here, you bastard. Oh. Ah, get it up there. Little overkill there, but
Target
Enemy mech down!
come here, you bastard.
Integrity of this place is down to 50%. We're halfway there.
target acquired.
Aye.
Target destroyed.
Okay, back onto what we were doing. Alright, let's start walking through buildings, because that does a lot. Oh, bad guy.
Just a wee bit more, Commander. This complex is on the verge of collapse.
Oh, bad guy's coming in.
Target acquired.
Alright, I think I got a rifleman back there.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Lens target engaged.
Alright, get him.
Tango eliminated.
He's dead.
Target acquired. Target.
Yeah!
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Let's start trying to leg him.
Critical. Target destroyed.
Alright.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Five % left.
I've done a quick reading of the damage
Alright,
you
go, go, go,
caused,
go.
and it looks like the facility is completely
They dropped another lance in.
I don't think
All right, let's get out of here
anyone
before
has
it
been here
comes.
for a long time. Good work. See you in orbit.
Centurion took a beating. It's the only mech that I think did, though.
Target destroyed.
Fortunately, another AC-10 down the drain.
Stand by for pickup, Commander. Welcome home.
A little bit of the lead there. All right. Yeah, so far it seems like defense contracts are my favorite ones. Although, again, that was not a bad contract from the standpoint of we were facing predominantly mechs. We got to see our first opponent as a rifleman, so that was kind of exciting. I didn't let him live very long, though. I just rushed him, and because riflemen they don't have the greatest armor for the weight that they are. So if you charge them like I did, and just the full length was focused on him too. So not really a good day for that guy. We can pick up a Cicada. Unfortunately, it's 13 shares, which we don't have. I will pick up the quality level 3 LRM-10, because why not? All right, let's see what else we can get. Ooh, a PPC. I'll grab that. It's very good value. It's not very good value. It's the same as this, I guess. But I'll also pick up the AC-5 here. Pretty good value for how many shares it is. Other than that, take the quality level 2 medium laser. Take the large laser. And one LRM-2. 10, I guess. Alright, that'll do. Continue. War zones. Okay, that's one I have to double check what it is. Oh, there we go. 1500 damage. So we're improving the damage output. Amount of damage we took was 307,000, so we're under how much I insured for, so that's good. The Phoenix Hawk did amazing, almost 600 damage. Centurion, despite taking a lot of damage, did almost 800, 782. And the Thunderbolt did 744. Now, in theory, the Thunderbolt should have been the next best. I'm very amazed that the Centurion was able to do what it did, considering how much damage it took. And the AC-10... AC-10 actually survived, didn't it? Because that arm is still up. I don't know if it lost any other weapon systems. I'm going to have to check on that. The damage output, the damage listed here is not all that high, so I suspect it probably kept, if not all of its weapon systems, most of them. So yeah, pretty amazing damage output from our mechs. I think this is going to be our primary 230-ton Lance loadout. It seemingly is very, very effective at that weight, and I think I just like the Centurion here rather than the Trebuchet. Trebuchet has just not been as effective as it should be. Despite having a very high damage output, just the AI doesn't use that damage effectively enough. I don't know what the answer to that is, but